Good morning and good day. Welcome back to Centize, episode 12. What a beautiful day it has been today. And it has been a beautiful week. I hope everybody has had a wonderful Christmas, and I hope you're having so much fun looking forward to the new year. I know 2025 has been a journey for many of us. And 2026 is looking forward to the new and embracing the old, right? Today, I want to talk about love. And I know I've talked about love before in prior episodes, but I feel it's really important to talk about it again as we move forward into 2026. 2025 has delivered a lot of changes, a lot of people awakening to who they are, going through their old patterns, facing limiting beliefs, overcoming fears. It's been a journey, and it's been a ride for many people. Some may look at it as it's been a really rough year, and some may look at it as it's been a very enlightening year. And how you view things is very important, because it can be a wonderful year if you look at it through the lens of light, because there's always light in every situation, and everything that happens, whether good or bad, because I don't believe that there's ever anything bad, happens because it is a lesson to move forward. And I recently heard something from Bashar that really, really inspired me and has stuck with me. And he said that if you treat every day like a gift, every moment like a gift, then you will be opening gifts your entire life. Isn't that empowering? Incredible. Because he's right. When you understand that everything that happens in your life is something to be learned from, then it's a gift in itself. I know a lot of people right now that are going through job loss, sudden job change. And they don't understand why. Everything was going so good, and then it was like, boop, we're releasing this job. Your position is no longer needed. Or we're going to move you to a new department. That is the universe stepping in. That is the universe pushing you in the direction that you need to go, right? Because the universe, your team, everybody's going to give you signs, going to give you breadcrumbs. And whether you choose to follow them is up to you because of free will. But if it gets to a point where you're not following the breadcrumbs and you're not doing the thing that you're supposed to be doing, then the universe does step in and creates all this chaos, all this upheaval, right? If you're familiar with tarot cards, it would be considered a tower moment. And we all have tower moments. We all go through these moments. And how does this relate to love? Well, because love is at the core of everything. Whether you want to classify a moment as good, whether you want to classify it as bad, love is at the core. Love is all there is. Love and authenticity. And with that, in moving in from 2025 to 2026, in 2026, we are going to be tested even further on leading with our hearts and showing compassion for one another and loving one another as we move forward through the year. 2025 was about pushing you to your limit, making you face those fears, making you face those limiting beliefs. 2026 is going to continue to do the same thing, but 2026 is going to be the test of how you respond. Don't react, respond. Respond with love. Respond with love for yourself. Respond with love for your neighbor. Respond with love for your coworker. Respond with love no matter who it is. Love and compassion and authenticity is how we move forward as a society, as a community. This is how we build our community, is coming together and understanding that we are one and that we can just love one another. We can have difference of opinions. We can have likes and dislikes, but doesn't mean you can't love one another. It's just a different perspective, right? I talked about it before. Everybody can only see one side of a box. So that is their perspective. And that is okay. Because in that situation, everyone is right. No one is wrong. Because we all have our own perspective and we all can choose to respond with love. It's the most beautiful thing. And Mother Earth is going to continue to evolve and change. And I know there's been a lot of chaos with natural disasters, right? We've seen a lot of earthquakes, a lot of flooding, a lot of hurricanes, just a lot of movement in general with Mother Earth. Unusual weather patterns. I mean, we're dealing with it up here in Oregon, Washington, California. The atmospheric rivers is what the weathermen were calling it. I never heard that before. But they were calling it atmospheric rivers. And boy, did we get a lot of rain. But you know what the beauty of that is? When you understand that Earth is a living being, that she is alive, she is also ascending with the rest of us. She has to cleanse her land of all the greed, all the misuse of societies pillaging her of all of her resources and using it as greed. She's got to cleanse these lands for the new earth. And as she continues to cleanse these lands, it's going to bring what we consider natural disasters. But I encourage you not to look at it with fear. Look at it with love. Because as we work on ourselves and we work on overcoming our fears and overcoming our limiting beliefs, she in turn has to cleanse the land that we live on. She has to cleanse the land beneath our feet so that we can all vibrate at a much higher vibration. So we can embody the Christ consciousness. So we can speak and do and move from the heart and love one another. So the cleansing of the land will continue. And this will be our test. It might become scary for some people. But one of the biggest things that I've learned is when you embody your fear, when you embrace your fear, when you hold on to your fear, and you really are fearful of anything and everything, well, it's the law of attraction. Fear attracts destruction. So instead of, in 2026, embodying your fear, when you start fearing or becoming fearful, I encourage you to pause and ask yourself why you are afraid in this moment. What are you fearing? What belief in you has to be so true for you to believe that this situation is true? Because when you fear something, that means it is out of alignment within your body. And your body is trying to tell you that. So when you hold on to that fear, the destruction will find you. But if you hold on to the light and you be a lighthouse and you hold the light and you anchor that light and you be your authentic version of yourself, that in itself helps people change themselves. It helps them transform. It helps them overcome. Because when you live the most authentic version of yourself and do the thing that brings you joy, and people see that, they go, oh, so and so did that. So and so looks amazing. They look so much lighter. I just talked to them the other day. They seem to be doing so wonderful. What has changed? Oh, yeah, that's right. They went in. They overcame their fears. They embraced their authentic version of themselves. They chose love. They chose stillness. And that is what we do by anchoring the light. And we hold that light for others. We lead by example. We can't go around going, all right, listen, you've got 10 different fears here. You need to overcome them. You need to meditate 4 times a day. You need to do this, you need to do that. No, no one responds to that, right? It's like saying you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't force it to drink, right? We can definitely lead them there, but we can't force them. And my old self was very much like, if you told me to do something, I was stubborn. The chances of me doing it were unlikely. I was just that stubborn in my old ways. I hated being told what to do. And a lot of times people did. They would be like, hey, have you ever tried meditation? Shit. No, I don't do meditation. What's meditation? That's boring. And look at me now. I came across a video when I started my journey. This lady, I was having a really stressful day at work, and I was on the brink of tears. This video came across my feed and it said, here's a quick 5-minute meditation, a quick 5-minute guided meditation. I was like, oh, I could try that. It's just 5 minutes and it's guided, because I knew nothing about meditation. I didn't even know how to begin. I've Googled it before, but it was like reading a foreign language. And I did those 5 minutes. And I found after those 5 minutes, I was like, wow, that felt really good. So I felt better. And then later that same day, I started feeling stressed out again. I was like, I need another 5 minutes. And then it became like eating potato chips. You can't just have one potato chip. Eat another one. Same thing with tattoos, right? You get one tattoo, you usually don't stop at one. You got to get another one, and then another, and that's okay. But that's how it was with meditation. And then it was, oh, I should see if there's longer ones. And then I moved up to 15 minutes. And I knew that I got 2 15-minute breaks throughout my day. And then I had a 30-minute to an hour lunch. So I was like, on my 15-minute breaks, I'll do a 15-minute meditation. Did that. And then it was like, oh, I could eat my lunch before my lunch break, because I work from home. And then I could do my entire lunch. I could do an entire 30-minute meditation. I wasn't encouraged to do an hour at this point. So, I was just starting, but I was like, I wonder if I could do 30 minutes. I started witnessing the changes inside myself. I was seeing things, and it was just blowing my mind. And it wasn't, some people say they see things vividly. Sometimes it was a sense of knowing. Sometimes it was words. Sometimes it comes across as song lyrics. But it was just changing me, and it was for the better. And that's how my entire journey started, was with 5 minutes. And then I encouraged my wife to try it. She was a little hesitant at first. And now she meditates with me every day. But in all of that, in all of that stillness, in all of that meditation, all of that going inside, going within, remembering who I am, remembering why I'm here. Nothing in this world is as important as love, authenticity, and compassion. The material is just material. And when you can lead with your heart and speak with love at all times and have compassion for the unseen and the seen, you align yourself with the infinite supply of abundance that surrounds you. Because abundance is about alignment. It's about law of attraction. You put yourself in alignment with where you are at in your day to day. So if you have a lot of fear and you have a lot of concern around all of the chaos, all of the things in the politics that you see on the news, if you're just so deep down that rabbit hole, you're going to keep seeing that. You're going to keep seeing all of it. And it's just going to get worse. And it's going to be like a cycle. You're not going to understand why nothing is changing. Why you keep seeing it. Well, it's because it starts with you. Everybody sees what is only meant for their eyes. Nobody sees the same thing. Whereas I don't see any of it. I don't even watch the news anymore. Because in my own personal space, that's not part of my reality. It's not that I'm ignorant to what is happening on the outside world, but I know it is a lesson. Everything that is happening is a lesson. It's a lesson for someone, right? I did a prior episode about death and overcoming death and what death meant and the fear around death and all of that and all kinds of fears. Well, they're all lessons to move forward. So when you do the work and you understand how everything in this life is, we set up our contracts. We set up everything. Every single person that comes into your life is a soul contract person. They are to come into your life to give you a message, to help teach you a lesson, to be a mirror for something that you need to work on inside yourself, to be a trigger. So in 2026, it is more crucial than ever that we all take a stand and take a stand with love, with joy in our hearts, with compassion for the people who are still choosing to be ignorant to the truth, that are still choosing to hold on to the old ways, that are still choosing to believe in the government, to believe in the old systems. Those systems are so outdated and they're so about control. But those are the people that are going to need us the most. Those people are going to be the ones that will have the hardest time moving forward. They won't understand what is happening. They will feel the chaos in their bodies. And that's why we have to hold the light and have this love and compassion for these people, for everyone, regardless of where they are at on their journey. Because we lead by example. And each one of us has a certain amount of people that we're supposed to help. Contractually, that's what we've signed up for. Some will have more people that they'll help than others, and that's okay. That's how it's meant to be. Everybody's journey is very different. And I encourage you also, as we move forward into 2026, not to compare your journey to anyone else's, because it's not important. If all of our journeys were meant to be the same, that would be a very boring existence, wouldn't it? If we were all doing the same thing. No, we're all here to do something very specific to what it is we need to learn and how we need to grow. When your inner self is calm and still, that is how you change your reality, your outer self. Your outer reality, your environment reflects what's on the inside. That's how we create our reality. You always hear that you create your own reality. Well, yes, you create your own reality based on your beliefs on the inside. If you've got a ton of fear and a ton of chaos inside, it's going to reflect on the outside. That's just how it works. That's why it's important for us as we move forward as a society, as we watch Mother Earth change, as we watch more and more people awaken, that we hold the light, we hold it together with love and compassion and authenticity. And it is more crucial now than ever to have that and hold that on all levels with every single person. And another thing I will remind you of is if at any point in this year you're speaking with someone and they suddenly get angry with you, don't react. Remember, we are all mirrors for one another. So you are simply showing them something inside themselves that needs to be looked at. They're not truly upset with you. They're just out of alignment with something inside their body, something inside their spirit, inside their soul. Respond, don't react. And sometimes silence is the best way to respond because some people just aren't ready to hear what they need to hear. And if you told it to them, sure, you're planting a seed that could grow later on down the road, and that is your choice. You can choose to plant that seed, or you can choose silence. Either way works. But the most important way that we move forward is to live authentically yourself. That is it. Love is at the core. Love is all there is. We will get through 2026. 2026 is going to be a great year of change, a great year of blessings, a great year of what's to come. And as a society, as a community, we will evolve. We will become stronger together. We will become one. As long as we choose love over fear. And I believe in all of us. I know it can happen. And I know it will happen. One person at a time. And as one person helps another person, that person helps another person, and it's a domino effect. And before you know it, we've got millions of people awaken and holding the light. And the more that hold the light, the higher we go, the further we go. That is what it's all about. We'll remember who we are. We'll remember why we're here. And we'll remember that we were never separate from God, that we are God. We embody the spark of God. We all have the Christ consciousness because we are all one. We are all spiritual beings having a human experience. And with that, I leave this episode as it. And I thank you so very much for listening. I hope every one of you has a wonderful new year. I'm looking forward to 2026. And thank you for continuing on this journey with me. I truly appreciate it. With much love and much thanks.